Do you think the mind of a young girl at 18 years is fully developed to understand the concept of marriage? On today's episode of Storytelling, I am going to be telling you guys about how my friend got married at 18 years. So basically, I was 18 years and she was 18 years as well. And we're just months apart from each other in age. So she woke up one day and then she came up to the family that she's ready to get married. She has met this man, and then since she met this man, it's been very promising and she feels she's ready to get into marriage with him. And the family took time off to talk about this, review it before giving her feedback. I was not in liking to the relationship or the whole idea of marriage at 18 years, because in a generation where people have stood up to try and stop or reduce the high rates of early child marriage, she's coming up at 18 to say she's getting married. Mind you, I am not castigating any lady that wants to get married at that age. I do not feel it's a wrong thing to get married at 18 years. But personally, I think that women should learn to give themselves time to develop a bit before deciding to go into that aspect of life, because it's a whole world entirely from whatever we are used to or whatever we know. So right after the family took time out to review her request and evaluate it all, they ended up agreeing and giving her her rights to make any decision she wants to make with her life, because obviously she's already legally an adult. So the preparations for this wedding started. I just felt pressed in my spirit to talk to this girl, and I asked her, "Hey sis, what's up? Are you really sure you really want to go into this marriage of a thing?" And then she said yes, that she really likes this guy. She met the guy when she went out to buy something at mall, and then she took liking into him, same as he. They got attracted to each other, and they have been moving things slowly, and then she sees that yes, there's a future with this guy. And I was like, okay, whatever makes you happy, no problem. If you are satisfied by your decision and your choice, so are we all, because we are all here to support you and not to control you. So I proceeded to ask her what her plans was for herself outside the marriage itself. And then she told me that she and her husband to be has agreed that she's going to go to the university once they get married, that he's going to put her into cosmetic business. Basically, this is what he does for himself. He sells cosmetics, and he's going to teach her about the business, then put her into the university. Mind you, this girl has not done her she has only finished her senior secondary school levels. She has not gotten to the university, basically, which is something that is non-judgeable because everybody and their choices in life. But I personally think all these, aside from education itself, all these are stages in life that teaches people one or two things to life. So I told her, okay, if this plan is good enough for you, babes, no problem. Go ahead with your plan. We are all in full support. Mind you, at the back of my mind, I felt like this was like the most terrible idea that an 18-year-old girl could come up for herself in my head. Regardless, we all giving our support, especially me. I give in my support as a friend, as a sister that we claim to be. And she got married. She got married with this guy, and she moved in with him, which is basically what married couples are supposed to do immediately when they get married, right? So the first years of this relationship was all blissful. I mean, that is like the honeymoon stage of the marriage. And when you call her, she's always like, "Oh, my husband is fine. We are all fine. He's treating me nice. He has put me into this cosmetic business, and it's going well for me." She even started selling cosmetics. At that point, I proceeded to ask her again, "Babes, what's up with you? I thought you said you're going to go into the university or something. Are you still holding up with that plans?" And then she said, "Me and my husband, we've discussed it. And then he said, after our first baby, I will go into the university. I'll be training the child while I go to school." And I was like, oh my God, is this really happening? Which is inevitable, because 18-year-old girl coming up to say she's ready for marriage, it's inevitable. What else should I expect? So I just played along and I was like, okay, babes, if that's okay with you, cool, fine. We just want your progress and your growth, which is obviously true, because why else will I be asking her questions concerning her own growth? So it's 1 year and few months since they got married, and they've celebrated their wedding anniversary. And this girl called me in the middle of the night around the hours of 2 or 3, and she was crying on the phone, and I was like, babes, what's up? She was like, her husband came late from work, and she was asking him where he went to, where he was coming from, and he refused to respond. Instead of him responding, he walked out of the house and went God knows where and slept there, that he has not returned back to the house. And he has not been eating her food for some days. And I was like, what's going on? Since when did all this begin? What did you do, or what transpired into this kind of dispute? She says she has done nothing, that he just started changing all of a sudden. Mind you, they only dated for 6 months before they got married. They don't know each other from anywhere. So it's likely for situations like this to happen. I just did what a good friend would do, consoled her and tried to calm her down so that she can pass the night over and get to the next day and understand what really transpired to bring up all these behaviors from her husband. So for some time, I stopped hearing from her, and she stopped calling. And me, I couldn't reach out because I didn't want to sound or seem like I am prognosing in a business that is not mine. Issues about marriage and relationship is not really my thing, or something that I want to involve myself. After a year, which is now 2 years of them in marriage, she reached out to me, and then she started crying on phone, telling me that a lot has happened in just short period of time, that she has lost about 3 pregnancies, that this guy, he resorted into violence, and he beat up 2 pregnancies from her body, which then she had miscarriage for 1, which is 3 pregnancies that she has lost. Mind you, she has not gone to school. The business that this man put her into, he has collected it back because basically it was his own. She has no investment yet. So I advised her to just cry to her family, because at stage and positions like this, there is really not much one can really do. So she decided to reach out to her family, and her parents told her to come back home, that if that is the case, she should come home for a while they try to sort out what is going wrong with she and her husband in the marriage. When getting home, guys, this girl found out that she was pregnant. And what could she do? She had to keep it. Basically, she was still in marriage with this guy, hoping that something could work out and they will resolve any outstanding and unspoken issues between two of them. So she stayed with her parents during the pregnancy phase, and she gave birth. When she gave birth, she went back to her husband's house. When she went back to her husband's house, my people, this man's character had moved from 50 to 200. He became worse. He was not taking care of her and the baby. He was very nonchalant. So she had to go and stay with the man's family for the time. Even her own family now had to remove themselves from the marital issues, because what can they do? There is nothing much they can do except break the marriage, which is not going to be ideal if it's not coming from the wife. Thank you guys for staying for my story. Please like, subscribe, and comment on my videos. I love you guys. Bye.